Hello, good morning. Happy Friday the 13th, friends. Hope all is well. So, this morning I'm going to be working on some baubles, and I'll show you an example of some baubles. So, for instance, this, which is clear-ish, and these kind of things, and these are still wet, and I discovered later that I probably should use my UV to make this quicker versus glossy accents, because these are still wet and I have to set it aside and not touch it and all the things until they're dry. And that's like a second coat. So I got out my, um, you know, stuff. Come on, words are hard. Where is it now? I got out my resin stuff. Oh, here it is. Got my little bottle and I filled it up pretty much. And then I've got some various piece of paper. I got some wire. And so I want to show you kind of how I made this one. And then I pulled out just some other little baubles from my jewelry stuff. I just want to make some little baubles and then pockets if I have time. So I just have this really thin wire right here. And I'm going to use just something to wrap it around. And I'm just going to wrap it a few times around this little sort of, I don't know, thing. And then trim it off. But see, I don't want it to be silver, so I'm going to manipulate it. So now I've got kind of a little wire frame, and I'm just going to kind of wrap each side. And I can't find my jeweler's tools. That always happens to me. I put them away all together somewhere, and they are gone. So I'm just using what I have, which is my hands. I think I'll wrap this one right here. It's very thin and easy to bend wire. So now I've got kind of like a little wire nest. And then I'm going to take my, where did I put it? Oh, this will work. I'm just going to take and kind of just make sure that it's nice and flat. Press it down nice and flat. And I'm going to take my foundry wax. And I think I'll use the Mind. Shake it up really good. I'm going to have to turn off my heater. And then I'm just going to dot it around. You could do it with a brush too if you wanted to, and it's going to fall into the little crevices, and that's okay. It's just that I don't want the wire white or clear or silver, whatever heck color this is. Fake silver. Now you could go through the motions of rusting up your wire with, overnight soaking and rusting powder and all that stuff, but why go through all the work? Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Jim. I'm just going to make sure that's getting hot. And I will just melt that right onto the wire. There's still a little bit of silver parts on there, no big deal. Let's see if I can find my tweezers. I had them earlier. Where'd you guys go? Oh, good grief. Charlie Brown, what do you do with your things? I mean, my tweezers are my best tool, so I know they're here somewhere. They're just small and hard to see. I didn't pick them up. Oh, see? Your foundry wax? So now I've got kind of a, not so white. And now I'm going to take, and you guys, if you saw my video, This is Simon Hurley's Stellar Paste in black. And I'm just going to get a little black on here. And just kind of spread it around. Just to give this kind of a dirtier appearance. And that it's a very thin coat, so it'll dry right away. Okay, where'd the cap go? There it is. Yep, foundry wax. Yep. And then I'll come in with a little bit more wax. Here and there, kind of heavier. And heat that up. Yeah. So now my silver bale of wire is not silver anymore. There's still some silver spots on it, and I'm not going to be mad about it. So what I want to do next is I want to find something that I want to highlight. Maybe this right here. What's on the other side of this before I commit? Okay. Yeah, I like the little poppy. I'm just going to lay that right there. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit so you can see what the world I'm doing. And I'm going to take get this ready. And then I'll take this stuff and I'll do kind of a thin coat. And you can, if you want to, you can stick it to the paper first. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to have it where I want it. And I'm going to kind of just lay a drop or two here where it'll sink in. But mostly just starting around the edge, trying not to move it. So it's touching both the wire and my paper. So I might have to build it up in spots, and that's okay. And then I can fill it in. And you can get this kit on Amazon for like $20. I didn't put a link because I didn't know I was going to use it until I decided to use it. Okay, and then, whoops, I don't need any more light on that. I'll set it on 3 and just let that go. Find the cap. Good morning, Yvette. So this is a lot quicker than trying to deal with glossy accents. Where is my coffee? There it is. Hope y'all have your coffee. And then I brought a lighter because sometimes that stuff will get bubbles in it and you want to get those out, and all you got to do is just put flame to it. Oh, I need my heat again. I'm cold. It's cold this morning. Mike found in a dumpster about 50 of these, but they're all red lights. So I'm wondering, can I do something with it, like use alcohol ink to turn the lights amber, or just use its wire? I know, resin is so much fun, especially the UV resin that, dries right away. We're going to do 2 coats on here because I want it to be a little bit convex. And guys, I saved this because look at all the cool stuff on here. I just love it. Yeah, so I do save some pretty crazy things. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. Um, yeah, it was fine. Mike wasn't feeling really very good. He's been suffering a lot from his arthritis lately, so that's kind of a bummer. But here's the card, Kristen. He gave me $1 for Valentine's Day. So this is 90 seconds. It feels like an eternity, but it is only 90 seconds, I think. Maybe it's 120. Maybe it's 180 seconds. I don't know. It's some seconds. Yeah, whopping doll hair. Well, one time he had the nerve to bring me home Russell Stover candy. And I tore him a new one over that because no. Isn't that a cute thumbnail? I love it too. So now this is stuck to here and it's hard, so I can cut it out now. I'm going to carefully cut it out in case I want some of these other flowers. I'm not going to cut it out perfectly just yet because it's kind of hard to do on a big piece of paper. Now I can trim off any excess. And I'll do another layer where I can build up now. Yeah, I had fun. I actually had an argument with Chat GTP over that picture because I was trying to get it to do us together and it just flat refused. So probably because it was two pictures. That picture that I shot of him yesterday morning when he just woke up, he was not happy. And then, a picture of me. But Chat just said she couldn't do it. And I kept saying, well, how come you were able to do one for me yesterday, but you can't do it today? So I went into Google and to one of its AI tools, and it fixed that one up for me. And I kept arguing that we don't have round, they kept giving us big round circle glasses. And I'm like, we're not Mr. Magoo. We don't have round glasses. That's how his hair is all the time, Kristen. He'll take a shower, dry his hair, and just leave it. And, maybe comb it in a couple of days. Crazy, crazy man. So while I'm waiting for that, I think I will cut out these little images. And I like even the words. Like I could do a little child and then put great on eggs. Just to be, insane. I just like these images, especially when it's tacos, because I'm all about the tacos. But he didn't really do much stamping. He didn't do any die cutting. He didn't do any gluing. He did, foam strips for the sentiments, and then we used glue dots for the dollars so we can get it off of there later. I tried to talk him out of a 20, but he wasn't having it. The fact is, I can have any of his money that I want, and he can have any of mine that he wants, but it's still fun to ask. I could go for a taco about now, too. I love breakfast tacos. Chorizo and scrambled eggs with the corn tortilla heated up on the griddle. Yum. And I make my own chorizo once I found out what's in chorizo. I'm like, no, I'd rather, I mean, I know I eat pepperoni and bologna. Well, I don't eat bologna anymore, but once in a while, a hot dog. And I know there's snouts and buttholes and all that stuff in it. Isn't that fun? Oh, I'll antique that out. Oops, you aren't going to be able to see. Okay, good, perfect timing. There, now we have a beautiful little bauble. So want to make something like that look old, you just grab your little sanding tool and sand away at it. And then you can take your ink and ink up the edges. And I like to throw a little ink right on top, just to kind of age it. I got plenty of ink on here. I didn't need to add more. And now suddenly that new image looks old. Yeah, these are sort of fun. And so, and I'll show you something else that I learned from a YouTuber that I did want to experiment with. And I found these little guys. I know I have a bunch of them, but I have no idea where they are. I thought it would be fun to do, and that's why I wanted to save these little images, like right there. Look at that. It fits perfectly. So I think what I'll do is I'll glue that down. Actually, I should probably cut them out first. Do that one, and we'll do a little sunflower. I don't have to cut them out perfectly, but just cut them out. I can do them both at once. Where'd it go? There we go. I'm going to use a little glue first. I better zoom in a little bit more. You guys can see those, they're tiny. And I want to, hit mostly the flat side. So flat side is actually, there isn't really a flat side. So that's okay. Set that on there, try and get it as straight as possible. These will be fun in a journal, any place, because they're pins, so you can, obviously pin them because they're pins. Yeah. Make obvious remarks, T. I'm gonna have to hold that one for a second. So, yep, tomorrow's the big Valentine's Day. I'm gonna make cinnamon rolls, sourdough cinnamon rolls. Okay, I'm gonna give this little support with this little extra piece of jewelry because it wants to, I do need them to lay flat. I think I did wrong sides on those. Okay, resin, where'd you go? I'm gonna just start with a small layer of resin again. I got this a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Ooh, you just want to move on me, don't you? And we don't need to go as long on these small layers. We'll just do one. Yeah, they do. And actually, yeah, if you did one plain, it could be a magnifying glass. Now, I took out some other wires. I cannot find any of my jewelry making stuff. It's just, well, actually, I have a big old bag of beads over here. I mean, not a bag, but a container. We'll let that finish. You're supposed to use gloves and wear a mask and stuff when you do this UV resin. I do not do that. I can't be asked. But what might kind of be fun, and I have an idea. We'll see if I can make it play out. So yeah, these are almost dry, but these are still wet underneath, you can tell, with the glossy accents. Living on the edge, dun 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 dun. Yeah. Okay, now I can fill those in. I shouldn't have left the lid off of my resin tea, you ding dong. But putting the first coat, and this may be 3 coats, so I can see bubbles in there. I'm just going to take my lighter, pop them. So I'm only filling it basically to the top, and then I'll do another layer. That way it, it gets a chance to harden. What I need to remember to do is to put the cap on when I'm done. That one didn't get any bubbles. There we go. So while we wait for that, because there's always that waiting, I think I'll create another something for this. And let's do, I'm thinking. Oh, you know what? These are laser printed. They're printed on both sides, but I wonder, you guys know how my curiosity gets me. Let me get a piece of packing tape. Hey, good morning, Christy. Let's get a clean piece. That one got all dusty. I don't even know if this is going to work, but I want to try it. I don't have a pile of water. I think I can remedy that. Must have a lid somewhere. Cup or something. There we go. I know I have water. Oh, I gotta zoom back out, huh? All you guys can see is my dang. I can't move it right now. I have to wait for it to get done. I need to do them so they're a little further up that way so that I can do other things while I wait. I hate wasting time. I'm a bad person about hating wasting time. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to throw a little water in this cap and pray that it doesn't have any holes in it. And try not to spill it. And then I'm going to toss my piece of pepele in here. Make sure that it's submerged. Oh, that finished. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move these up a little bit so that I have room to work over here. And we're going to have to prop you up again. And one more coat of resin on those. Thing you want to do is not shake the little bottle. That's why I keep getting bubbles. I'm so used to shaking my glue bottle that I forget that you don't shake this or you're going to get bubbles. let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that worked quick too. Yay for laser printing. I'm just peeling off the excess here. Just get more water on it, peel off some more. That way it'll be clear. So when you lay it over something, if you lay it over something, see now it's translucent. It's not completely clear because obviously I could rub more paper off of there. For one, I can still see it on there, so I can still rub it off. This might be fun. No, I don't want to spill that everywhere. Let me grab a rag and wipe this off. Cool. Okay, so then what I'm going to need next is going to be some wire. And I think I'll do this wire again. Do I have something thicker? I don't. This is actually thinner. I have tons of wire around this house. I just don't know where. And let's see. Let me find something that's going to be a good size. Yeah, there we go. You know what song I suddenly have stuck in my head? And you guys, if you're in my age group, you'll know it. Tusk. Do you remember Tusk? Fleetwood Mac. Okay, so I want this one to end out over here. Maybe right about here. And then this around. I'm going to set that one more time because it's on there pretty thick. I got more than I needed, but that's okay because little wraparounds look cool, I think, anyway. You can take and scooch them together, but carefully so you don't wreck your shape like I just did. And wire will work harden, so what that means is that once you start twisting it, it will it'll be harder to work with after it's been twisted. So the twisted area. Let's make this. And I don't care really that it's oddly shaped at all. Okay, and then I'm going to clip off the excess. Why don't you ask him if he's gonna stay? It was with the USC marching band. It was a big deal back then because, you know, that was way before, you know, a lot of music engineering. See, I need my other little tool, but I don't know where it is, so I'm just making do with what I have. Okay, these guys are done. Let's see if they're hard. Yes, they are. Nice. Now I can just trim off the excess. And again, you could do this with glossy accents. You're just going to have to wait for it to dry, and that's forever. And it does yellow, which, you know, in my case, I like that because I like my stuff to look old and yellowed. But in some cases, you don't want that, depending on who you are and what you like. So I'm not crazy about the backside is the problem. So this I would definitely stick, you know, make it a permanent. It's kind of hard to see the little flower in there, but it's there. Sunflower is easier to see. I'll just trim off this excess. I'm anxious about the clear one that I just made. Okay. Get those paper boogers off of there. We're going to set this aside over here. I don't want a heat to get to it, so I'm just going to stick it to that for a minute. See, I almost made this too big, but that's going to be okay, I think. I'm thinking about that. Maybe I want a smaller one. Maybe I'll use this for something else. Let me make a smaller one. Find something the size that I want. Well, the thing I was using was fine. Where'd it go? This thing. It's not quite big enough. What else do I have here? How big is this? Ah, perfect. Okay, this will work. Where did my wire go? Well, there's some right here, so I'll just grab whatever's in front of me and call it a day. I can easily get a tighter wrap on this for sure because it's acrylic. Except for it also didn't go tight like I want tight. And that's just because of the gauge of this wire. I'm just going to gently hold it together, and I'm not going to pull on it like I did the last one. I'm just going to twist it around. I'm going to kind of twist it in long twists. Okay, you need to go around like this. Don't get fiddly on me. And let's give it a little tight wrap right there. And give this one a little tight wrap. And then I'll edge this one with some foundry wax. And what color I want yet. Let me think about that a minute. Get it nice and flat. Yeah, let's go with the statue. And I think I will take a paintbrush and apply that with a paintbrush so I can get in the little nooks and crannies. Just got to work quickly because it dries so fast. I have alcohol ink out too, and I can use alcohol ink to stain this wire as well if I want to. I'm just trying not to use too much of my wax. I like my wax. I want it to last forever. I know it won't, but come on. Squeeze out just a little for me. This one I want to try and get most of the silver covered. Okay. Morning, Chow. Okay. That one might be too big too. It's almost the same size as this one, but I like the looks of it better. All right, tweezers. I want to be careful, it's going to be hot. I have a little end that's poking out there that I'll trim off later. You know what I think I'll do? I want this darker. So I'm going to grab some alcohol ink. I'm going to grab the sienna. Oh, look at that. I love it. That's the color I was looking for. That gave it that old look. I gotta kind of let it dry. Morning, Carrie. And this is going to... Okay. Let me zoom in again so you guys can see what I'm doing. Where did my... Here it is. Okay, grabbing my resin. Maybe I want to... No, I'm gonna do it on this one. I am. I'm going for it. And I'm gonna come around the outside edge. So it all kind of glues it down. And then I'll fill in the rest. It's hard to see it on this packing tape. Just making sure I don't have any holes or bubbles. I don't see any bubbles. That doesn't mean they're not there. I just don't see them. And let's scooch this up under here and we'll go 2 rounds. And then let's grab some more of this. Let's do some more of these. These are so pretty. I probably won't use the whole thing, but I want to go ahead and do the thing to the thing. Where did my packing tape go? Right here. Okay. This method works really good with this bitty penny paper. Whoops, don't move things, T. Just let that sew. You're going to make while you watch. Cool. I just cut a bigger piece, so it's probably going to have to soak a little bit longer. And this water is really, really cold. I'm just going to set this aside and let it soak for a minute. Pull these guys out, or pull this guy out. and do a second coat. Let's make sure this coat is hardened. Yeah, it is. It was, the video training was Mommy Guide Ink, Lala. I'm doing a thick layer this time. Okay, scoot you up under there. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see if this stuff's ready to peel. Yeah. My tape stuck. I'm just trying not to splash water everywhere. This is what happens when you try to do more than one task at a time. No, I used foundry wax and then a little bit of alcohol ink, because it wasn't exactly the color I wanted. The foundry wax is pretty pure colored, and I wanted some dirt, and grime and rust and all those things. I haven't done this in a while. I think last time I did it was for a not too shabby video. Nope, stop moving that, you dork. Okay. Wipe off the excess. And there we've got our sticker. We're going to see how that one comes out. I wonder who, do. I wonder if these are laser printed. Inquiring minds want to know. Got it wet. Where did my tape go? Oh, okay, you're welcome. I do have a Ranger affiliate and scrapbook.com. This one I have a feeling is going to take much longer to soak. I'm just going to lay it in the water over here where you can't see it and add a little bit more water. Just let that soak for a while. I'm just curious to see if it'll work. Okay, let's check this. It could almost stand one more coat, but I'm going to leave it. Trim off the excess. No, it needs another coat. Let me trim off the excess first. I can see some empty spots in there. What's funny, and I don't know why, but the tape stays sticky even after you've soaked it in water. Ah, do 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 do. Ah. Yeah, I just bought more because I lost my other bottle. You guys, Well, if you know me, if you follow me, you know I lose things. Everything. I lose everything. And this isn't a gigantic room, friends. It's just an old bedroom. I think if it was gigantic, and there's my excuse, um, then I would have more places to put things and be able to organize better. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. I'm just going to take my lighter because I thought I saw bubbles. And let's run that through once more. Let's check on our pepper here. Okay, got the thick backer off. Now I need to soak this part. Oh, I remember back being a kid and all getting Valentines for all the kids, but it was never anything massive. It was these little stupid 2x2 or 3x4 super flimsy cards. I have a feeling that these are laser printed, but the paper is really, really stubborn. Let me work at it here. Okay, a little more soaking. A little more soaking. So I got that going, I got that going. And then I pulled out this Dina Wakley paper. I had a sticker. Where'd that sticker go? I'll just get another one. I'm not a big fan of stickers, but I do like to manipulate them. Come here, you. These are kind of astrological little stickers. I like this one. We'll work with that one. I want to put it against this graph paper. I'm running out of space here. I want that graph paper to not be white though. So I'm just going to grab my tool and just ink it up a bit. And this, I think, like I said, it's Dina Wakley. Here's the reason I'm not a fan of stickers. I always wreck the edge. Oh, let me try the trick I saw. Let's get one of my dirty sticky mats, stick it down, and see if the sticker will peel off. I'm going to need tweezers. All right, we're just going to leave that for a minute since I've got too many things going at once here. Zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. I've got stuff everywhere, you guys. I'm going to stick this down, and then I'm going to see if it pulls away the backer. Yes, it does. This trick works, friends. Look at that. I love it. Another use for your sticky mat. Just going to stick this sticker down to that. And it'll just be an embellishment. I'll cut it out later. All right, let's check on our little. So now we have translucent, but we still have a little design. So I like that. I like that just fine. Let's see if I can do something with this pepper. Hey, Nima, good morning. Ooh, rub-ons. Now this, yeah, this paper is interesting. I mean, it's definitely thinner and more translucent, but it's got several layers of paper on it. Boy, they really make those Tabasco boxes well, don't they? So, as you can tell, my next junk journal is going to be quite eclectic. Just going to have a little bit of everything in it. Oh, see, now I'm starting to rub the design off, so be more careful. Oh, I kind of like the looks of that. All right, I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to set it aside, and I have one more piece that I did, and let me just go get rid of this right now. Let me see, where can I put it that it won't destroy something? Right there. Oh, and I wanted to show you. I just want to show you. Stupid songs. Okay, we have this right here. Now, I like it in the shape that it is, so I don't want to make it all thick and gunky with stuff. Come here, scissors. Just trim off those edges. And it'll behave like a sticker. I love it. Oh, cool. All right, let's make an envelope. Envelope, pocket, whatever. Let me just move some of this stuff aside. Put all our little... I wanted to show you what else I made. I made these last night. What I found was that now these are glossy accents in just jump rings over paper. But what I found is I had made a collage with some of the papers that had wax on it. Remember those we did? Well, the wax ones, these won't stick to. And so they pulled up and they end up being clear. How much Tabasco? Well, I mean, it's this size, 5 ounces, 148 milliliters. So I have those little baubles. Now I'm going to put my other baubles in with them. And I took out some other little just metal pieces from my stash and or from my, everything. I just want to kind of wipe this up so I can make an envelope. Okay. I think I'll do, not a big fan of the black. I know, I'm weird. I like black, but don't ask. I'm just strange that way. Here we go. This will make a great, nope, it won't because it's too, I want a single sheet. Aren't these great? But they have all these wonderful things on them. So yeah, this is why I don't use my bitty penny paper because I can't. It's too pretty. Listen, friend, I appreciate the double-sided paper and I don't appreciate the double-sided paper. Let's keep going. Really do like this purple one, but I also love all the ephemera on the other side. All right, this one. This will be the envelope. So I want the top to be up here. We'll make this the inside. Let's do a couple of scores. And I'm not doing any precise measuring here, friends. I'm just being a little crazy. Do the top down to 2 inches, I think. So then I can decide how the bottom should be about there. I'll make a little mark just by folding it and then score. Okay, and then I want to, actually I needed to score on either side too before I put that away. Is this long enough to score that? No, okay. Let's get my longer one out. I like the short little one because it's just handy. It's easy to grab. This is 6 inches. So I like to, friends, I like to score from, let's move this so it doesn't slip and slide around on me. I like to score from the outside because 1/2 inch in, my hand gets in the way. So I can see it says 6 inches wide. So I'm going to score at 5.5. And then I'm going to flip it over and score at 5.5. And then I have a better chance of getting a straight score. If I don't move it, that is. So now I need to do some trimming. I'm going to trim here. Trim this completely off. Is it going to be perfect? No. You know who I am? No. Perfect is not in my repertoire. Now, if you got an envelope die, you can get your die out and cut them out. I don't, as a rule, I'd rather not. So now that I decided to use this one, okay, yeah, this one will work. I thought I'd use the purple one. I'm just not paying attention. I'm going to take my corner rounder and round up those corners. You know what? I think I'll do a fancy. I'll use my fancy corner rounder. This one, I think. No, I do these upside down so I can see what I'm doing. Think about how this is going to look before I make any major commitments. Okay, yes. Ink. You know I have to ink it up. Ink it up, ink it up, ink it up. Even though you probably won't see most of those, I just like to make sure anyway. So envelopes can serve as pockets and envelopes, and that's the plan with this. I still have to make a ton more tags and I have to do a lot of stitching, and I'll do the stitching off camera because frankly it's kind of boring to watch. I mean, you know, maybe the first couple of things and then okay, I'm done watching that. I'll go ahead and ink up the inside even though you won't see most of it. Okay. Okay. Okay, no, it's gonna go this way. I wanted to make sure I got it all the right direction. So if I only had a brain, thinking about this piece here, how might I utilize it? Kind of like it like that, but it's obviously not going to have, I mean, it's sticky. Thinking. I kind of like it like that. But if I was going to do that, I'd also be doing like a little bit of collage. All right, now I can't make up my mind. Hey, Reagan. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. I could, oh, I think I have a plan. So first of all, we want the envelope to stay shut, kind of. I mean, you know, if it sits open like that, eventually inside of the journal, it's going to get crinkled up. Put that neat on there. That's not the clear one. Let's do the clear one. Turn it the right direction. Looks cool, huh? That was fun. But pay attention. Pay attention. We've got that done. I Yeah, I think I will make this not a pocket. I think I'll make it be able to come in and out of the of another pocket so that I can use this. And let's see if it'll stick and stay stuck. I doubt it. Yeah, in spots it'll stay stuck. So the plan, let's find some matte glue because I don't want the shiny. Don't want the shiny. Where's my matte? Where are ya? Wait, is that you? Liquitex gloss. No. Um, white gesso. No. Oh, doggone it, Bobby. Oh, wait, is this you? Yeah. Got some Dina Wakley gel medium. And I want it really thin on here. That just took shine right out. We'll see how it does when it's dry. I'm going to sit it here by my heater because I don't want to turn it off again. You have to wait for 15 seconds for it to shut off. I don't want to heat it up too much because it'll warp my... Okay, and look at this. So this is a pin, and it looks like we could easily make this by creating the fan and then dipping it in wax, because it looks like it's waxed. So I'm about to pull this backer off this pin. Or not. Let's see here if I can do it without wrecking it. This was obviously resin down. Nope, I can't. I'll wreck the fan. So let's make another fan. This is cool. And this just uses some, it looks like it uses maybe rice paper. Oh, that's going to take too long. But easy enough to make, huh? Wonder how they did that. I'm going to have to figure that out. All right, we'll find something else. That's not the only piece of magic that I have. I do kind of like that right there, though. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can get it off. I didn't rip the other side, did I? Come on. You can come off of here. There we go. I just like it on there. I just like it. It's going to make it thick, but I still don't care. I don't care. I'll just have to make a gusseted pocket for it to fit in, because I just feel like this fan just goes really nicely with this little floral decoration. I'm just going to hold it down for a minute till it takes hold. I think I want to make some of these. I'm almost positive it's made with rice paper, though. I should leave it alone until it's good and stuck, instead of moving it around like a ding-dong. I don't want to cover any of those little flowers. Okay, let's just put down there. Move on. Moving right along. Let's do... I do love this. I have, I'm still waiting on the glossy accents to dry. But this is just basically scraps that I threw together last night. These, I had cut little frames out of these, I don't know, a couple weeks ago over on the Crafty Fun with Friends, or Crafting with Friends, or one of those things, you know, with Chrissy's channel. Got a little feather in here, which was part of an earring that I deconstructed because I don't wear earrings anymore, so what's the point? Oh, you know what? If we're going dimensional on here, Oops, that's trying to go onto the magnet. Come here, you. Now these, I did the collage on double-sided sticky paper. So I can, they'll just be stickers. The ones that didn't come apart because they were on the wax. Go right there. And you know what else I can do? Oh, listen, listen. I have these little magnets. I can take one of them, take the sticky back off. And stick it down to the magnet. Oh, do not do that. Okay, the problem with that is that the magnet wants to stick to the little metal. So I'm gonna have to finagle it until it gets over where I need it to be. On the actual sticky part. There we go. Get on there. Let go of my tweezers. Now this is a magnetic piece. So I wonder if that will. These aren't very strong magnets, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not going to hold. Okay. Can still be a fridge magnet. Or it can be, oh, hey, I have a big idea. Oh, see, my fan fell off again. You know what? Why am I so impatient? I should clip that on somehow. How though? That's not even in the right spot. There we go. All right, let's just hold it for a minute. Set it down. Kind of find the center-ish. I'm eyeballing this completely. Well, we know it's 5 inches wide, so 2.5 is going to be the center. I don't need to eyeball it. I have a measuring stick. Go 2.5. And make a little mark. No, about here. I had an idea, and I think it will work. I may have to give up on my fan and glue it down later with some different glue. Punch. Grab my punch. Yeah, that fan does not want to stick with that glue. Punch a hole right here. Because this is still sticky a little bit, that magnet will go right through that hole. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I still don't think it's going to hold. And even though I measured, it's not in the center. What I have to do is wait for the glue to get tacky and then do it again. But let's go get that magnet stuck to there. And that's what I'll do. I will just set it aside and call it a day. Do I want to use glue? Yeah, maybe not this glue. Do a nice thick portion on there. Lay that down, flip this over, and just throw some weight on the whole doggone thing and let it dry and leave it alone. Leave Brittany alone. Yeah, that was a great idea, huh? Hopefully it holds. Again, those magnets aren't very strong. So recap what we did today. And I still have a bunch of stuff out and I'll probably come in and play with it later, but I've got bread to make and dishes to wash and stuff. Cinnamon rolls. We did some clear and a couple of these little guys, which I don't love the back, so I'll probably like maybe paint the back or something, or just stick them in something and leave them stuck in. Let's get that up close, see if I can focus. There's that one, and then this one here. We did the ones with the wire, and I did this one this morning before the live just to experiment, and I put some rust powder in there, and it's kind of trapped between, just for the heck of it, and then, you know, you can see through it, but not perfectly because I have this tissue paper, but you can see through it. So managed to get one pocket slash envelope done. But thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. You know, we're going to build this journal together throughout the months or weeks or days or however long it takes. And oh, one more thing. Oh yeah, I did a sticker. This is probably dry by now. I wanted to experiment because, you know, I ran out of large jump rings, so I made like my own. But again, these are with glossy accents, and so it bends it and makes it hard to move around. But I can cut these out. I can, you know, use those as kind of just little baubles, little stuff. Because my intention, let's talk intentions here, is to make a snippet roll so that we have, you know, lots and lots of things that can be added to my journal. And then more pockets and more tags and things like that. So the plan is we're working from the outside or from the inside out. So I'm doing pockets, embellishments, all those things first. Then I'll do the signatures and then we'll do the cover. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, the trinkets are always fun to make. I've got a gigantic box of beads down here, that beads I've been collecting and my mother collected over the years. I didn't even open that up because there's no, it's, you know, it's a big box, and the lazy me just kept, when I was beading, dumping more things. I used to twist wire and pound wire, and that's when these knuckle things happened while I was twisting wire. So I quit twisting wire, but the knuckles didn't go away. But I like to make little fun shapes and things like that. You guys take care. Hopefully I'll see you around. Um, I've got an appointment with the jar of starter about this huge that I need to deal with. Have a good one. Happy Friday the 13th. Happy Valentine's Day. Good times. Take care. Thanks for spending your time with me. Bye.